Hi, the doctor's in. I'm Dr. LB, and I am here to help you through your mathematical difficulties. Today, take a look at transformations of functions. So we need to know the basic graph of these functions. The first function is the constant graph. The constant graph is a horizontal line that goes through whatever that constant is. The linear function is f of x equals x. It is a straight line that goes through the origin. F of x equals the absolute value of x. It's the shape V. Here, 0, 0 is a very important point there. It's the lowest point on that graph. F of x equals x squared is a quadratic function. Again, 0, 0 is a very important function or a very important point. It's the lowest point on that function. F of x equals x cubed is the cubic function, and 0, 0 is the point where it changes from where it changes kind of the course of the graph, but that's a very important point that we're going to be shifting as well. Square root of x, 0, 0 is an important point, and the cube root of x, again, 0, 0 is an important point in most of these graphs, and we're going to be using that point along with some other points on the graphs to shift. So we look at vertical and horizontal shifts. The graph of y equals f of x plus c, if you add c to the whole function, it's going to shift the graph up c units. If you're subtracting c, it's going to shift the graph down c units. If you're adding c within the function itself, it's going to shift the graph to the left c units. And if you are subtracting c within the function itself, it's going to move c units to the right. Let's look at some examples. So in this case, we have y equals the absolute value of x plus 2. The first thing we're going to draw is just plain old absolute value of x. We've already said that 0, 0 was a very important point there. Also, in the absolute value of x, if I put 1 into that function, the absolute value of 1 is 1, and the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So this is y equals absolute value of x. So we're going to be looking at 0, 0, 1, 1, and negative 1, 1. Now, in the graph that we have the absolute value of x plus 2. This shifts the graph 2 units upward. So I find my 0, 0 point, and I'm going to shift that point 2 units upward. I find my 1, 1. I'm going to shift that graph 2 units, that point 2 units upward. I find negative 1, 1, and I'm going to shift that point 2 units upward. So that the graph in the red is my y equals absolute value of x plus 2. It's always easiest to graph the original function before you go in and do the shifts. The next one is the square root of x minus 2. Well, let's just draw the square root of x. Remember, 0, 0 was a pretty big point there. And if I have 1, the square root of 1 is 1. So this is my graph of y equals square root of x. So the square root of x minus 2, we're subtracting 2 within the function. It's going to move the graph 2 units right. So my point 0, 0 goes over to 2, 0. It goes over 2 units. And my point 1, 1 goes over to 3, 1. So my purple graph is y equals the square root of x minus 2. Let's look at a couple more. We have y equals x minus 2 quantity squared plus 3. So I just want to graph y equals x squared. So I have points 0, 0, 1, 1, and negative 1, 1. So it's my U-shaped graph. Okay? So subtracting 2 within the function makes me go 2 to the right. Adding 3 to my whole function to make me go 3 units up. So I'm going to be looking at those points. So 0, 0 goes up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2, 1, 2. This 1, 1 goes up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2. This point here goes up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2. So I have my parabola. This is my y equals x minus 2 squared plus 3. So next I have a cubing function. So let's just draw the cubing function. Just plain old y equals x cubed. 0, 0 is important point, 1, 1, and negative 1, 1. So here I'm adding 3 within the function. I'm going to go 3 left. I'm subtracting 2. So I'm going to go 2 down. So from this point, the origin, I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go left 3. From this point 1, 1, I'm going to go down 2 and left 3. And from this point negative 1, negative 1, I'm going to go down 2 and left 3. So this is my graph, y equals x plus 3 cubed minus 2. So remember that Dr. LB is always in. Please come back for more math help.